Thank you to Squarespace for supporting this channel. Whether you need a domain, website or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. 1988, not a particularly special year. Not much happened in 1988, apart from this. This is one of the most important SLRs of our time. The Nikon F4 was designed by Giugiaro. First name began with a G, probably Gary. It's a very unique, memorable design. When I say memorable, I hated it. It looks like, but when you pick up, it's quite an amazing camera. It's a beast of a camera. It's heavy. It's probably as heavy as the C300 Mark II, which Locker's filming on. And you can tell it's almost motorsport influenced with these lines. It's almost like a Testarossa. What you see here is the framework for every pro DSLR that you see today. I mean, just look at it. It's got the integrated battery grip. It's bloody heavy, built like a tank. Important thing is, it's completely, fully electronic. The F3 before that was mechanical. It still had the winder. This does away with all of that. Although it's still got all the knobs and dials, you don't have the winder. Fully electronic, but it's still got a dial here for shutter speed. It's almost like a Fuji.
Well, it takes Fuji, but it also takes Kodak too.
Bam, Pro Image 100. It's got Pro in the name, so it must be good. It has a burst rate of 5.7 FPS. That's faster than some digital cameras these days. And this has the winder film on. Oh yes, and this has the world's first metal vertical focal plane shutter. I think I'll need like a hip holster to just change film all the time, and like a dump pouch to just dump all the spent film. Just make sure my flies are done up. As Locke knows, my flies are always down. I don't mean we're like that, but he's seen me with my flies down quite a lot.
Yeah, like that sounds better. Anyway, Dick's out for this beast because it is packing heat.
So with this battery grip, this is the MB21. You've got the MB23 as well. MB20, which makes it a lot slimmer. It doesn't have this chunky bit. But check out this slice of sexiness. Continuous high. That wasn't very sexy.
Minor problem. Let's move on and shoot some shit.
So we are in Tai Hang, which is here. But look, this is a truly amazing camera. Let me count all of the autofocus points. You're used to having tons of autofocus points now. Sony's latest toy cameras, the A9092, II, has got 399. This has got one. Right in the centre, obviously. They didn't put it out top right corner. But this viewfinder is massive. It's huge. Of course, that's where you add that. That's what she said. You know what? He thinks he's so cool with his little drilly thing. Check this out.
36 frames, 5.7 FPS. How quickly can it get through it?
That's the whole roll film right there. You know, people talk about Leica being expensive. This is going to empty your bank account in no time. Forgot to rewind it. It's transitional, so I still need to rewind it.
I think my brain is transitional.
And there we are. We've got a roll of way overexposed film. Yeah, it's slightly flawed, my system. Boom. Look at now, dude. When you talk about locks, there is actually a lot of locks. There's not just one lock there. There's locks for everything. Look, to switch it on, they've got the L, and you have to press this lock. If you want to change the exposure column, you have to press this lock. Yes, there's a lock for the shutter speed as well. Considering this is on S mode though, it's still hunting around a bit. Not totally perfect autofocus.
Let's not forget though that this is the first autofocusing camera for professionals. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, now to take the real shots. I was just taking test shots back then. This is the Christmas, no, not, not the Christmas market. They all look alike though. Chinese New Year market. This is an incredibly advanced camera as well for its day. It's got programmed auto exposure, matrix metering. I think by the time I get out of the exit, I'll probably be present. But what we have here is the real film. You see, Nikon F4 from 1988. I found something in my fridge. It smelled a bit funny.
That's some seriously mature cheddar right there.
Ready to roll. So Kodak have decided to bring Ektachrome back, which is great news. The truly great news would be Kodachrome, but wishful thinking. I've already got it though. It's the old stuff, and it's tungsten film, so tungsten film will typically make daytime look blue, which is what some silly people use to make daytime into night. But I'm going to put this on, 85B warming filter. It's basically just some orange glass to warm up the images, to counterbalance the blueness. The thing with slide film is that the exposure has to be spot on. It's not like negatives where you can have a little bit of leeway.
Leeway's a Chinese dude, by the way.
So this should be a good test for the metering system on this. If I mess up, sorry, if the camera messes up, not me, I get 24 of the messes up.
Expired film can take on a magenta shift, will be grainy and less rich blacks. Worse if the film is older and not put in the fridge. You can kind of correct the magenta shift a bit in post.
We're having a short break.
Next location where a couple of mates dropped by.
And Rita. Wow. It's Bart Simpson. I mean, the amount of parts that goes into making this, 1,700 parts. It's all electronic, but still, there's so many little things happening inside this little camera. She's in the Olympics, training for the Olympic torch.
The matrix metering was revolutionary back then and still top-notch today.
Here we go.
The great thing about it being the granddaddy to the Pro SLR we all know today is that shooting with it is more or less the same.
That's the granddaddy, and that's the young one. But we're only talking about cameras. I am actually younger than her.
Shut up.
In real life.
Shut up.
So,
You're not.
Oh, look at that cool granddad. See, granddads can be cool too. Oh, what? Lady. I don't actually know if it's her sofa. Probably not. So somebody's going to get a new sofa with like char siu stains on it. It's like, smells of char siu and leather. Well, the characteristics of Ektachrome are typically lower contrast, medium saturation, low color depth. Bluer tones already, and this is tungsten. So hence, hopefully the warming filter will do a good job.
Expired Ektachrome though, slightly different look. Wish I'd put something new in.
It's quite bizarre having a pro level camera like this, which you're used to having loads of points covering the frame, and you've just got one. But it's kind of refreshing actually. A lot of times when I'm shooting street, I like to use just the center point and reframe because you know that's going to be in focus. When you let the camera pick the focus, it's not always going to be right.
Shooting sports must have been a pain in the arse with only one focus point though.
But this is a camera good for other stuff, not just for sports. The original F2, F3 weren't necessarily sports cameras. Crossing streams like Ghostbusters.
But the sound of that shutter and winder is sweet, sweet music to the ears.
I mean, Ektachrome is perhaps not quite as special as Kodachrome, but it's not as difficult to process. They've still got the E6 process these days, for now. New boy band, just hanging out in the corner. Not sure if everything's in focus, actually.
I have to say, shooting on the street, quite a number of shots didn't nail the focus, sometimes way off.
Sometimes this does hunt around like a motherfucker, though.
But I'm spoilt by modern day standards. I mean, the F4 demands respect for leading the way back then.
You don't teach your granddaddy how to...
What? Dance? Well, my moves are shit anyway. For me, I've never really been into shooting film that's way past its intended shelf life, which is why I'm looking forward to shooting with the new Ektachrome when it does come out. Cameras are different, and the F4 shows us why. It's set new standards and can still be held in very high regards today. If you want a modern but classic film SLR, I'd thoroughly recommend you consider one of these.
That's all. See ya. Squarespace is an all-in-one solution for all those wanting to put together a website or online shop with their super slick award-winning templates, 24/7 customer service and domains. Makes putting together a website easy. If you'd like to create a website or online store today, start your free trial at squarespace.com and get 10% off your first purchase with the code KAI.